Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is vlog 4, the nitty gritty. We'll go over the scripture tracker, wellness tracker, and some supplements that I have with me. Two things that I wanted to talk about, one being when I will release videos. I plan on releasing them Saturdays moving forward, which kind of means that you'll need to read 2 chapters a day so that they don't overlap. The other thing is I'm going to try to do this all in one take, so please forgive me for any bloopers there are. I just want to get the information out to you and keep it pretty simple for me. Now, jumping into it, went over chapters 15 through 21 in Genesis, and I'll go over the key verses that I found, little golden nuggets that I took away from each of those chapters. So, chapter 15, verse 18, the Lord made a covenant with Abram. In other words, it reminded me of earlier on in Genesis when God mentioned being fruitful and multiply. That's essentially the blessing he provided for Abram. Chapter 16, verse 2, Abram listened to Sarai. In other words, he listened to his wife and had a child with the servant. It's good that he listened, but it did cause some complications between his wife and the servant. Chapter 17, I found the key verse to be 23. Abram circumcised as God had said. So not only did he get circumcised at 99, but he also circumcised many of the people in his group, which was a demonstration of loyalty that Abraham had to God. But earlier on in these chapters, Abram started out, then changed to Abraham, similar to how Sarai started out and changed to Sarah. All right, now chapter 18, key verse 14, is anything too hard for the Lord? So this was around the time that Isaac was mentioned, and Abraham nor Sarah really believed him. And just a demonstration that God is capable of doing all things. Now, chapter 19, key verses. This was a complicated chapter, but to break it down, key verse 8, 24, 26, and 32 all described corruption without God. So, going very quick, when Lot was being pressed by the people in his area, he offered his daughters, which wasn't very settling. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because of the corruption that was there. And when Lot's wife was escaping, she turned around, which was against God's commands. And then she was turned into salt. Then later down in verse 32, Lot's daughters laid with him, which in general is just breeding corruption because it wasn't really in conversation with God, although it is still all part of God's plan, was an indirect conversation with God. Now, chapter 20, key verses 11 through 13, Abraham's describing how when he goes from place to place, he calls Sarah his sister, even though they do share some blood, but it's more of a plan of not getting killed by the people, because if they were married, then there would be more aggression towards Abraham. However, in my mind, it was 50-50. Part of it's, if Abraham is chosen by God, why would he try to be indirect? But in other words, it's still part of God's plan. Now, the last chapter of the week would be 21, and the key verse, which had 2 parts, be not displeased, as well as do as she tells you. So Abraham approached a situation and was very upset, but God redirected and said, don't be upset at what you were being upset at, more so be upset at something else and listen to your wife. So redirecting focus. Now, since I went over the scripture review, I'll go over the wellness tracker. I'll keep this one pretty brief, that way it doesn't become too repetitive, and just go over the key takeaways from the week. So meditation was the idea behind my mental improvement. And not only did I incorporate it at night, but I incorporated it during some exercise, specifically cardio. Going into physical, more exercise helped me sleep better and made me want to sleep more. So I was able to get closer to 7 hours. I incorporated more scripture in my thoughts and conversations for my spiritual wellness, environmental. I'm definitely going to plan on cleaning the car routinely. It piles up random receipts, wrappers, and kids' toys end up in places you don't even think they would be. Now, emotional, vocalizing feelings to myself and other people really helped have a peace of mind and understand where I'm at. Occupational, making chronological and specific steps that are easy to follow really helps. Not only hold myself accountable, but also stay on a good pattern. That way I'm not getting stuck when I'm going over many specific tasks, whether it's Excel, reading documents, going over some engineering drawings, you name it. Financial, like Abraham, listen to God and your spouse for guidance. That way we don't make impulsive decisions, or we are fully comfortable with not making certain decisions. Now for social, I highly recommend watching movies at home and getting snacks to spice things up. That way it can be super exciting for yourself and other people, whether you have family or friends. Now we went over the scripture tracker as well as the wellness tracker. I'm gonna go over some supplements. I have a little cheat sheet here. So I got 6 supplements, and essentially the daily dose would be $2.15. But if you chop off 2 of them that I'll get into that aren't really necessary, you could save yourself $1. So the first thing, I guess, before getting into the supplements is get yourself a good water bottle, as well as a good shaker bottle. And specifically, I recommend Nalgene, which is 1,000 milliliters. You drink 4 of these a day, it's a gallon. And then you have your shaker bottle. I recommend the 24-ounce version. That way it can help with your servings, as well as not have too much fluid in your system when you're doing an exercise. So $30 there, just peace of mind, getting it out of the way. Creatine will be the supplement pretty high on the list. This bag I got for around $30 on Amazon. So it says 200 servings, 17 cents a day. A multivitamin is the next thing on the list. Got this from Walmart, get it from wherever you want, but averages about $10 for 75 servings, so 15 cents a day. Again, pretty affordable. Now, protein powder. There's a lot of protein powder on the market. I have a little bit of a response to whey protein, so I recommend pea protein. Got this on Amazon for about $75. However, it has 113 servings, so if you break it down, 66 cents per serving, or 66 cents for 24 grams of protein. The next one would be Gatorade. Highly recommend. Helps make your water taste good, but also gives you the sugar that you want. And powder. Highly recommend the powder. So $15 gives you 95 servings, which is essentially 16 cents a serving. Now these next 2 are very optional. So you got your pre-workout and intra-workout essentially. You got this for the pre-workout for $30, 60 servings, basically 50 cents per serving. Then amino acids was pretty much the same, $35, 72 servings. So again, you could spend $1 a day and get pretty good supplements. You got your creatine, multivitamin, protein, as well as Gatorade. And then if you want to spend the extra $1, you can get pre-workout and intra-workout. So again, went over the scripture tracker, wellness tracker, and fun activities such as supplements. Hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to making more content. Again, if you're interested, I encourage you to subscribe, turn on your notifications, comment what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see more of in the comments down below. I look forward to this next video. It's going to be a good one. I'm going to go to a pretty exciting event this Sunday. Just a sneak peek. The code word is Dragonmen's. With that enough said, have a good one. Till next time. Bye.